Just don't take any kids out. I'll say something first, and then you can fire away.
Fire away.
And one question though: who is from Ohio first? Anybody here from Ohio?
I am here.
Okay, I'll let you two guys get first questions, just because you're in state, and then I'll take them from others too. But,
I'm from Ohio as well. Northeast Media Group.
Okay. Sorry, make sure I don't have any more corned beef out here. Well, great to be here. Good stop. Somehow it seems like I get to eat my way across America, but it's a lot of fun to get out. Certainly, it's good to be here in the Midwest, and we'll keep coming back to Cleveland and Ohio, like we do other parts across the country. Feel good about the next day forward after the debate. For us, it was really about making the case that we're ready to be president, and in particular making the case that, as I've said over the last few weeks, I'm not interested in going after fellow Republicans. To me, the real focus needs to be on the fall of 2016. You saw by my comments, I continuously came back to making the contrast with Hillary Clinton, whether it was on the economy, talking about how I believe she and others like her believe you grow the economy in Washington. I think you grow the economy by getting government out of the way and helping people create jobs, whether it's here in Cleveland or anywhere else across the country. When it comes to foreign policy, that there's a stark contrast that under the Obama-Clinton doctrine, we're leading from behind. I think that's failed. As I mentioned last night, in my view, everywhere in the world that Hillary Clinton has touched is worse off today than it was before she and the president took office. So I'm going to spend my time talking about what I'm for, how we can make this nation great again, how we can truly reform Washington by sending power back to the states, how we can help build the economy in a way that will help everyone live their piece of American dream, and how we can protect our children, our grandchildren from the threats of radical Islamic terrorism. We're going to talk about reform, growth, and safety, and we're going to talk about how we match up best against Hillary Clinton going forward. So I'll take the three from Ohio, and then I'll take others here. So right there, Ohio.
Yes, Mr. Walker, if you're elected president, are you going to screw the workers all around the country like you did in Wisconsin, taking away their collective bargaining and their right to the American dream?
I'm incredibly pro-worker. In fact, pro-worker so much so that we gave workers the choice, the freedom to choose whether they wanted to be in a labor union or not, and we transferred power away from the hands of the big government union bosses and put it firmly in the hands of the hardworking taxpayers. And we're going to transfer power from Washington into the hands of the hardworking taxpayers all across America.
I guess a little bit more specific in terms of how would your economic policies help a blue-collar region like Cleveland?
Well, big time. First off, I hear people here and all across the country talking about the failures of Obamacare. I would repeal Obamacare immediately. I'd put legislation forward, draft legislation to the Congress on the very first day. I'd rein in the out-of-control regulations. You look at what Obama's EPA did earlier this week, I should say. That would cost Ohio alone, according to one report, over 31,000 manufacturing jobs. I would get rid of that rule. I believe we need to balance a strong economy with a strong environment. I would put forward an all-the-above energy policy that would help places like the industrial Midwest, be it Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and other places like that. I would help people get the education and the skills that they need to succeed, which would help people with careers that pay far more than minimum wage. And I would help lower the burden on hardworking taxpayers, particularly on working families, as I've done in the state of Wisconsin.
Governor, let's talk about the debate last night. You got fewer minutes than almost any candidate.
Yeah, and in the end, it's I guess some of the others were eager to take on the others. My focus, as I mentioned when I got the time, was focusing on what I'm for and how I'd be the best contrast with Hillary Clinton. And I think in the end, that's what the voters want to know, is are you prepared to take on Hillary Clinton, not just for the nomination, but to go forward and actually win the election.
Governor, you said that investigators said this week that you were the target of the first John Doe investigation. Why did you tell the media at that time that you were not?
The information they've said, the paper they released is new to us. We point out is this is something that's been over for more than 2 years, and it's a done deal. It's been done for quite some time.
So you're saying you did not know? I understand what you
Document
said.
I said that they released the other day, we did not have information. What we're saying is, again, this is for something a Democratic district attorney closed this case more than 2 years ago. I think it's pretty clear that in the end we were accurate.
Given Trump's what he did and what he said and how he said it last night, should you as a good Republican though be concerned about the electability of whoever is the nominee if it's not you, or even if it is you?
It's August of 2015. I think it's a long ways off to worry about who the nominee is. I'm going to worry about earning the votes of voters, whether it's here in Ohio, whether it's in New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, Iowa, other places. There's a long ways off. Heck, we've got something like 8 more debates. There's plenty of time. A lot of hype and hysteria about one debate. What we're going to do is keep on the constant pace that we've been on before.
All right, one more question.
Governor, because of the hype and hysteria, Governor, because of the hype and hysteria, you didn't get as much post-debate attention and talk as some of the other candidates. Is that a concern, and how would you rate your performance?
No, I saw someone point out earlier this morning that in the first Democrat presidential debate in 2007, I believe, the winner was John Edwards, according to many, and one of the folks who didn't get a lot of airtime was Barack Obama. So I'm not real worried early on. I think people want someone who's steady, who's presidential, who focuses on the issues, and that's what we did. There was a lot of attention given to some of the fights that potentially could go on between candidates. I've said for now almost a month since I got in the race for president that I'm not going to focus on who I'm against or what I'm against. I'm going to talk about what I'm for and how we can make America great again.
Governor, are you saying you're not going to go negative in the primary, that you will not say anything disparaging about a fellow Republican throughout the primary?
Well, I think it's legitimate to have contrast. I'm just not looking to pick fights out there, and I'm certainly not going to get personal. I'm going to focus on the issues that matter. Someone asked me this morning what may be unique with any of the other governors out there. I said, well, you look on the podium last night, I'm the only governor who took on the big government unions and won. I'm the only governor who didn't take the Medicaid expansion under Obamacare. I'm the only governor who's got a state with a pension system that's fully funded. Those are legitimate comparisons out there to me and anybody else in this race, but I'm not looking to pick fights. I want to tell people what I'm all about and where I'd like to take this country.
Do you think some of your colleagues were picking fights?
Are you criticizing Hillary Clinton again yesterday for private emails? You did use private emails with county executive. Do you see an inconsistency there, or do you think it was
No, 100% wrong. There's no inconsistency. The reason Hillary Clinton's facing the trouble she faces today is twofold. One, it's ongoing. The issue regarding Milwaukee County is several years old and a closed case going forward. But more importantly, the most important distinction is classified. She told us there was no classified information in her emails. We now know that there was indeed classified information in her emails. As I mentioned last night, it's likely because of her using emails with classified information that it's potential that the Russian and Chinese government now know more about Hillary Clinton's email servers than do members of the United States Congress. And that potentially has put our national security at risk. I've said repeatedly she could be a pretty good deceiver in chief, but I don't think we can trust her to be the commander in chief.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
Governor,